your favorite commissioner, coming at you pre-recorded once again for another edition of the League 11 recap. This week we are recapping Week 13. So we have one more week left of regular season before we get into the playoffs, which starts Week 15. So this is always kind of a fun week because we usually have a couple people who, well, I should just say, we already have a couple people that are officially out. We already have some people that are officially in, and we have some people that are battling to lock up their playoff spot. So, without further ado, let's dive right into the match one here, and get the show on the road. Hoping next week. I know maybe some of you who actually watch these remember me saying that I was going to do a breakdown of something that I was working on. I kept putting it off, and I finally decided that it was going to take longer than I thought. So I thought maybe I'd do it for an end of the year thing. So my goal is to have that up for next week's recap. And also, I'll just say this too before I dive into it. Sorry for not getting a recap out last week. With the snow and everything, we were working a lot, and when I got home, I was pretty much shot and did not have the normal witty, cunning, energetic recap that I would normally have. So I didn't want to disappoint you guys. So did I disappoint you? All right, first matchup. Sorry, matchup between Mitch and Tim. Mitch, congratulations! You won. Had the highest score of the week, I think, 170 points to Tim's 91. You won handily, 80 points, whatever it is. Mitch also locked up a playoff spot, so congratulations to Mitch. Mitch 8-5 and in second place. Tim 7-6 and in fourth place. Tim does not have a playoff spot locked up. So Tim, you I think you and a couple other people. Let me just get it here. You are one of the people who, if you win this week, you lock up a playoff spot, so you control your own destiny. So good luck with that. Matchup wise, Mitch 30 points out of Joe Burrow. Came back and beat Kansas City. That was pretty cool for Cincinnati. Stephon Diggs, arguably, I would say top 3 wide receiver this year. Top 5 for sure. 22 points. 35 points out of Amon-Ra St. Brown. They put up 40 points on Jacksonville. He also had 32 points out of A.J. Brown. He's just been killing it with Hurts at the helm. So, good week overall out of Mitch, 170 points. Like I said, hard to lose with that. Also had 71 points on his bench, including Samaje Perine. Right? Perine? I don't know. I actually totally forgot about that name. But, so good on Mitch. Tim, otherwise, 91 points. Almost never going to win with 91 points. Although I feel like somebody this year has won with, low 90s. 21 points out of Devonta Smith. And that was it for Tim. He had nobody on his bench worth mentioning. So, as I said, Mitch locked up a playoff spot. Tim is in control of his own destiny. Next matchup we have is between... Stalling. My internet really sucks. Is between Perk and Corey. And Corey puts up the second highest score of the week. 165 to Perk's 130. Overall, very high scoring matchup for these two boys. Let's take a look at the matchup. I will say, sorry, just adjusting something here. Not myself, don't worry. Corey technically is not out of it. He is 5-8 and in 8th place. Perk, on the other hand, is officially out of it. 3-10 in 9th place. Corey needs several things for him to go right, but technically he is not out of it yet. So, Corey, you better put everything you got into this week, and it still might not matter. Interesting tidbit as I'm looking at these. Between all, 11 guys we started? 9. Sorry, not 11, 9. So, out of all 18 players that started for these two guys, only 2 of them did not score double digits. And that was Corey's tight end and defense. So, otherwise, 16 out of these 18 players in here, albeit some of them just barely, but they all scored double-digit points. Perk, only player on his team worth mentioning is San Francisco, 21 points out of San Francisco. Corey, on the other hand, had a few, obviously. 25 points out of Terry McLaurin, 28 points out of Tyler, out of Christian McCaffrey, who might be moving teams. Or sorry. Baker got picked up by the Rams today, didn't he? I think so. I think that's what I saw. Sorry, I was so busy working. I don't really have time to sit there and stare at my phone all day like some of you guys do. And then I had Greg Zuerlein. He had Greg Zuerlein kicker, 21 points. So Corey battling to possibly guarantee that plate coming off his car this year. But, let's just pump the brakes on that. Next matchup we have is between Matt and Brandon. And speaking of being permanently eliminated from playoffs, Brandon lost this week, 115 to Matt's 129. Brandon is also 3-10, and has scored less points than Perk, so he's in 10th place. He is officially eliminated from playoffs. Matt, on the other hand, is in the same boat as Tim. He is 7-6 and in 6th place. If Matt wins this week, he automatically locks up a playoff spot for himself. Matchup-wise, Matt had Tyreek Hill, top 3 wide receiver this year, 30 points. Also had, I had to look at his name. I am blanking. Wide receiver for the Jets. Garrett Wilson. That's what I thought. Garrett Wilson. Something named Garrett Wilson, 24 points out of him. I guess when you got the Stones to start something called Garrett Wilson against Minnesota, although not that our defense is all that great. Although I didn't really watch the game, so I heard our defense wasn't that good. I don't actually know that. I did not watch 1 second of the game. I was too busy doing way more important things, obviously. Brandon, on the other hand, just insult to injury. Lamar Jackson, out. I think, what do they say? Some sort of a fracture, something. I think they said the average player is out like 1 to 3 weeks with this, which whatever. Brandon will get a bye in 2 weeks. Anyway, so it doesn't matter for him. He did have DK Metcalf get him 27 points, and he did also have Keenan Allen get him 21 points. And was it Mike Bagley? His kicker, Michael Bagley, get him 21 points. Also, 174 yards with the field goals. Damn. Oh, that's Detroit's kicker. I honestly don't think I've ever heard that name. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's on Brandon's team. Nobody cares. So that was that matchup. The next matchup is between 2 guys in the playoff hunt. Nick, congratulations. You got a win against Ben. Ben, back-to-back week of weekly low scores. I think that's his 3rd one this year, 87 to 119, as I always say. Nick, you didn't win, you just didn't lose. There was 3 total teams that scored fewer points than Nick, and Nick won this week. So there's that. Come on, I did click on it. But I should say, Nick did lock up a playoff spot with his victory. So thanks, Ben, for letting Nick into the playoffs. 8-5 and in 3rd place for Nick. Ben 7-6 and in 5th place. So there's 3 players, as you probably picked up on, that if all 3 of them win, they automatically lock up a playoff spot and they control their own destiny. Which I will say, I looked at the schedule for next week. None of those 3 teams play each other, so it is possible for all 3 of them to win. So there's that. There's 1 team in this league that we'll get to that was not thrilled to see that. Nick, 34 points out of Jalen Hurts, 23 points out of Dallas' defense against Indy, where they have like 18 interceptions against Matt Ryan or something like that. Ben, on the other hand, he had Tua get him. He literally had no. Sorry, I said Tua because I assumed he did good, but I forgot San Francisco shut him down. Trust me, I know. Jalen Waddle sucked balls. Ben had nobody on his team worth mentioning. He had 87 points. He would have had to have 1 player score a quarter of his points to be relevant. So, but Ben, still control your own destiny, so don't lose next week. And the last matchup, as always, matchup of the week. And this week it goes to myself and Mike Bartushik. And not that it really matters, but I really wanted to get this win for you guys because I wanted to give him his 3rd loss of the year. And we were basically tied. Not basically tied. We were basically projected to tie going into the Sunday night game. I had CeeDee Lamb. He had Tony Pollard. And it was looking really good until the second half when basically just ran the ball the whole entire time. I had 136 points. Mike had 150. I am 6-7 and in seventh place. Mike 11-2 in first place, obviously. So if I win this week, I am not guaranteed a playoff spot because those other three teams could win: Ben, Matt, and Tim. So if you're playing Ben, Matt, or Tim, please beat them because I think I actually have technically like one or two more points than Matt. So I can still sneak in. But I do need to win this week against Corey, which, wow, real hard. So actually, no, never mind. I had a thought, but then I realized I was wrong. Matchup-wise, all right, let's get into it here. I had Geno Smith, 24 points. I had CeeDee Lamb, 20 points. And I also had Robbie Gould, 20 points. And my defense, Cleveland, 33 points. Sneaky pickup. I think I picked him up on Saturday or no, Thursday. Thursday, because I was at the bar. Yeah. Patty Mahomes, even though he got shut down, he still got 20 points. Devontae Adams, arguably the best wide receiver this year. 38 points out of him. 21 points Josh Jacobs. 25 points Tony Pollard. I mean, yeah, it just goes on and on for Matt. Mike, sorry. So, one thing I will say is Mike, I mean, it happened earlier, but Mike officially got the best record in the regular season. Like I said, that happened a while ago. Ooh, Nate McKinnon's out for 4 weeks with an upper body injury. Shut up. I already saw it. Nate McKinnon's out. Yeah, weird. ESPN. Fucking hate ESPN. Sorry, aside. Do you guys hate ESPN's fantasy football app as much as I do? I loathe it. Ugh. It's disgusting. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Mike. And then he also, I mean, it's not official. It's not 0%, but he has 140 more points than second place, or the second most points. So if Mitch outscores Mike by 140 points this week, Mitch will win $50. Otherwise, Mike is going to win $50 for best regular season record and most points in the regular season. So come on, Mitch. Score a lot of points. Super quickly, because we're long, which I don't know why. I always try to go for 10 minutes because I always go over 10 minutes, so whatever. I play Corey, so if Corey beats me this week and some other things go right, I think, sorry, just a quick aside. Corey is, okay, so here's the deal. Corey is beating myself and Matt by 100 points, like total points. So if Matt loses and Corey beats me, it's pretty much guaranteed he'll lock up a playoff spot. So there's that. What was I going to say? Nick plays Brandon, so neither of those guys have anything to play for. Ben plays Mitch. Mitch has nothing to play for. Ben does. Matt plays Perk. Perk has nothing to play for. And Mike, who has nothing to play for, plays Tim. So everybody, other than mine and Corey's matchup, we're the only matchup that we both have something to play for. So get your bowl of popcorn and watch our matchup. I'm sure it'll be super entertaining. So, all right, we'll see you later, boys. Have a good week. Good luck to y'all.